Hello, I'm Chris Cassell, and I just came back from watching Shipwreck. That ain't right. What's the title of this one? Battleship. I wasn't too far off. This movie is pretty bad. If you want a bit of evidence, I can show that it's bad right away. No one in this movie ever said, "You sunk my battleship." Corniest line they could have used, the only line they actually kind of mandatory to use in this movie, and they didn't use it. So, what was so wrong with this movie? Well, it's a Michael Bay movie apparently, so explosions, a lot of explosions. If it's not a Michael Bay movie, it surely looks like a Michael Bay movie. It's definitely made by the same people who make Transformers. In fact, wouldn't shock me if this is in continuity with the Transformers, considering both are owned by Hasbro. We'll get into Hasbro later. Let me point out a little question here. Why? Why did you make this movie? What was the point of this? Okay, they make movies of a lot of things now. Books tend to work pretty well. Based upon old TV shows, like Dark Shadows, kind of work well. Video games, despite the fact having plots that make no bloody sense for a movie, tend to work badly. Although I do like these movies. Probably gonna watch this one later tonight to get Battleship out of my brain. Still, they're movies. You can say I made this movie to advance this. This movie was made to blow stuff up. I have a note sheet. I'm gonna start taking notes. Made this after the movie. Because I forgot a lot in the Dark Shadows review. Including the fact that maybe my friends had a point that it wasn't historically accurate, since there was no Maine in the 1800s. No Maine in the 1700s when he said the movie took place at one point. Yeah, I butchered that. I'm not going to stop the camera, though. Okay. Even with notes, I don't know where I'm going. It's hot as hell here today. So, good point. The movie theater was AC. That was pretty nice. So pretty much this movie stars one of two brothers. It starts with this set of brothers going into the Navy. One of them dies off really fast. I'm not calling that a spoiler, because honestly, I couldn't figure out which one it was until the end. Because the way they look, I couldn't figure out. They act almost the same. Or no, one's kind of a dumbass, the other's kind of a tight ass. But once they're on the boats, they're mostly business, so I couldn't figure out which one died. So the brother that lives, pretty much, becomes the main hero, and yada yada yada. But before that, before they even get into the fight, let's start with the beginning of the movie. Why not? It starts with the two brothers in a bar on Dumbass's birthday. I'm going to call him that now because I got the name in my head. And Tight Ass tells him, don't do something stupid. He approaches this woman. The woman wants a chicken burrito. The kitchen's closed at the bar. He decides, okay, I'll go across the street for one. The place is closed. He decides, I'm going to freaking break in to get the burrito. Breaking in, he starts breaking in, and you hear this tune. A couple seconds later, you're going, that's the Pink Panther theme. They're using the Pink Panther theme for this. He breaks in through the ceiling, somehow, and proceeds to realize that after breaking in through the ceiling, he is horribly trapped, because his way out is through the ceiling. I was, number one, waiting for B-list celebrities to start making fun of this, because I was thinking, this has to be on World's Dumbest Criminals. It was just so blatantly dumb. You already broke in through the ceiling. Break a window and leave through the store. Why not? You already caused tons of property damage. Also, one little makes me mad that they missed this joke. There's a piece of insulation that falls from the ceiling, and it is not the Pink Panther, that's not the name of it, brand installation. How do you miss that joke, Battleship? That would have been excellent! It wouldn't have redeemed your movie, but it would have been excellent! Speaking of redeeming the movie, Liam Neeson's in this. He's probably the best actor in this movie. He's not in this movie enough. I can't call him a saving grace because he's literally in this movie for maybe 20 minutes combined footage. So, most of this movie is a big action scene. Whoop-de-doo. Gotta give them some credit, though. They actually do find a way to set up the game of Battleship, where they couldn't figure out where the aliens were. Oh yeah, spoilers. It's aliens. They're fighting aliens. I don't know how you do that! They couldn't see where the aliens were, they figured out, but the aliens can't see us either, because otherwise we'd be dead. Good logic. The movie would be over too, though. So, they're blindly shooting at this grid that the aliens are moving towards, and it is a grid. They're using buoys in the water, and water displacement. Really okay scene, actually. Shooting blindly, they're even saying, miss, miss, hit, hit, and they're calling out the grid coordinates kind of like you would in the Navy. Echo 11, instead of what we'd say E11. So, that was pretty... You did it. I'm not going to call that good because... You did it! I give you credit, you did that! Good job! But, I don't know if that was a very good scene. Look what you had to do that! Oh yeah, the aliens. The aliens fire peg-shaped... This is the parts that connect to the board game, by the way. Peg-shaped things that blow up ships. Here's the problem with that, though. In a game of Battleship, there are 5 ships. An aircraft carrier, that takes 5 hits to kill. The actual battleship, which takes, I think, 4 hits. A submarine that takes 3. There are no submarines in this movie, by the way. And there are no aircraft carriers in the fight. There's another one that takes 3 hits. I don't remember what it's called. Maybe a cruiser? And then there's a PT boat that takes 2. Yeah, the PT boats are overpowered. Actually, speaking of PT, there's a physical therapist in this one. Side story. Actually, the lover of the main character goes off in the woods and finds adventure. She runs into the aliens. And a jackass computer expert. And her physical therapy patient who's walking through the mountains with her. I'll get into that after spoilers. I'm actually going to call spoilers this time, because I have a lot of this movie to bitch out. Covered that. Rihanna's in this movie. Meh. I have nothing negative to say about her. She just was there. Barely acted, really. Oh yeah, the aliens. You're putting the U.S. Why do you need aliens? You couldn't just make this a simple war game. No, you probably couldn't, because that would be too much like Down Periscope, a movie already made. And Down Periscope was better. Actually, I kind of wish I watched Down Periscope. I wish I watched anything instead of this. Oh yeah, Hasbro. We have a bit of a problem coming up. Hasbro has gotten the idea in their head to start making movies out of the board games they own. They own all the board games. Really, all the board games. So you're going to be looking at a Monopoly movie, a Clue movie again, And I know they're in deals with they were in deals with Universal for a Clue movie. Universal dropped it. My guess is they typed in IMDb Clue and found this has already been made. Who's in this? Ah! And ran. Connect 4, the movie. Why not? Life, the movie. Starts at birth, you pick a quick career, and by the 2-hour mark, you're dead. Good movie. Let's greenlight that thing. I'm gonna find that greenlit tomorrow when I search stuff on Wikipedia. Yeah, look it up. Hasbro owns most of the toy companies now. They own Monopoly, and I think they're starting to become a monopoly. That ain't good. Depending how I want to do this. Next movie I'm gonna go see is probably gonna be Men in Black. Probably gonna go see that next Tuesday. I get a good weekend off of bad movies. Well, new bad movies. Awesome. Alright. I'm gonna call spoilers and go through the end of the movie now. So stop watching if you want to go see Battleship for some reason. Alright, the end of the movie... Actually, let's cover the aliens more. The aliens are just dumb. I'm on a roll with this hating thing, so let's go with this first. I hate the aliens. They look like humans with different eyes and spiky beards. That's it. They're supposed to be based upon lizards, I guess. Someone figures out lizards. And their weakness is the sunlight. Despite the fact in the movie they kind of tell you they're supposed to be from this planet similar in location to Earth. They call it a Goldilocks planet because it's close enough to the sun that it's warm, but not close enough that it's burning hot. It's just right. So yeah. The aliens. So they have a problem with our sun, but yet they're from the similar planet. Unless their sun is a little different, their star is a little different, they shouldn't have a problem with that. And once again, before I cover the ending... Okay, now let's cover this. They figure out in the movie that this ship that crashes into Hong Kong that you see on all the trailers was a communication ship. Oh, and by the way, that all was on accident. I meant to cover that earlier. Sorry. That was an accident, all that carnage you see. They didn't mean to destroy Hong Kong. That wasn't missiles fired. That was their ship going, oops, boom, into Hong Kong. So they figure out that their communications ship went down, and that the aliens need to use the satellite we built to communicate with another planet to phone home. At this point, my mind goes, E.T. phones home. Unfortunately, before I can say that, the movie does! Come on! That's something for me to make fun of, not you to acknowledge. It's pithy when I say it, it's dumb when you write it. Actually, it's not that pithy when I say it either. I don't know what pithy means. Ending time! Finally! At the end, they destroy the destroyer. They destroy their destroyer. We lose our destroyer. And everybody on the destroyer gets out on 2 little dinghies. Rafts things. My guess is a lot of casualties. You'll never notice because everybody in the main cast survives. So they decide, what are we going to do? We have no more ships. Well, we do have the Battleship. I'm like, okay, take the Battleship. Why not? They do. They come to the problem that they can't actually man the thing, even if they knew how the heck to use it, because our ships have advanced so far in the past years. And what they have really here is a floating museum. They get a bunch of veterans, said that wrong, veterans to run and drive the Battleship into battle. In what is probably one of the most badass scenes ever. And the final battle I kind of did like. It was kind of good. It was like a final boss battle. I did like the final battle. Everything went boom! Oh, and the whole closure on the whole physical therapist girlfriend thing. They decide, okay, we're gonna buy them some time. So we're gonna crash our shit into the giant satellite feed things. I don't know what they are. And then her patient, this guy who's lost both of his legs at the kneecaps, which apparently the science computer guy didn't understand what that is. He called him a cyborg. Yeah, the computer guy's an idiot. And a jerk. He gets off this amazing battle with one of the aliens, before more realize him there. And even the computer guy comes in swinging this giant case into the alien, kind of redeeming himself, but he was kind of all the way down the I hate you path, that he couldn't come back from that. And they all save the day. The battleship winds up blowing up the computer satellites. Not the satellite, it's the dishes. It's not the satellite, the satellite's in space. It's the dish. They blow up the dish. And the military actually comes in with, the cavalry comes in and saves their ass. Easiest way to explain what happens. Everyone ends happily. Oh, except for the whole fiancé thing. The main hero wants this woman's hand in marriage. Okay, big spoiler. The brother that lived was the dumbass that broke into the convenience store in the beginning of the movie. He wants this woman's hand in marriage, the same woman he broke into the convenience store with. But her father is Liam Neeson's character, the Admiral. He goes and asks for the permission after being kind of thrown in there by the daughter. And Liam Neeson says, No! No, you can't marry my daughter! That's stupid! Go away! Okay, he doesn't say it just like that, it's a lot more epic. I can't do it justice. But it does end with Liam Neeson saying, we'll talk about your terms of surrender, let's go. So it's all gonna end well. Which is kinda sad. I was hoping this plot point would be brought back for when they make, you know, Connect 4, the movie. It took me 8 seconds to come up with something on that. That was horrible. Horrible! So, where do I stand on this movie? Am I gonna buy it after I kind of said the ending was great? No! The ending was only 15% of the movie, and the other 85 sucked. I'm not buying this movie. If I want to watch Battleship, I'll just try to watch the last 15 minutes, and that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.